being here, guys. This is a very hot topic now. I think for those of you who certainly got affected, or if your property gets affected, this is a really good talk. I think we can. I think every single one of us has some story to tell on what happened last month when the winter storm hit. So we're going to talk about the effects of how it affected real estate, and also some of the best practices that we can do to winterize our home and our properties the next time this comes. So last month we had actually two winter storms. One is called Uri and one is Viola, and it hit the United States. We have a lot of area that had power outage, water outage. Jason actually shared something about needing to boil water. So it was some pretty difficult, 1-2 weeks for all of us. Here we see some headlines. Winter storm has put a big pause in home sales, and as you can see, it has caused a economic a stall, I guess, along with properties being damaged, and now they can't get sold. There are many instances. We were actually in a home buying process where there were damages on the home, so a lot of transactions didn't happen in that week in February. In North Texas alone, in February, home sales fell by 8%. And Becky and I were just talking about, we basically lost a whole week within our company, the folks that are in the United States. There were so many things happening that we had to take care of at home. It stopped the company for a week, and it's similarly applied to the Texas economy as well. So it affects everything in real estate. A city lost half of its workforce. For realtors, mortgage companies, and lenders, a lot of closings that were scheduled to happen didn't happen. And a lot of us also experienced bursted water pipes. So the plumbers became very popular. And we actually had a lot of plumbers that are from out of state coming to Texas to serve the surge in demand here to fixing the water pipe. And there were only almost, up a little bit under 7,000 sales in the last month in February. So that's a big drop. We're gonna see a little more statistics about the homes data in a couple of slides. A couple more headline. Let's keep going here. So we're expecting the inventory. The inventory has been down, and it's causing home prices to go even higher. And overall, they're expecting the market to remain strong throughout 2021. So here's the forecast. We're going to see the median home price rose 14% from a year ago to over 300K now. And that's more than double the median sales price a decade ago. Typically real estate doubles every 20 years on average. So if we look at this statistic, doubling in just 10 years, we can see what's happening to the local Texas market right now. Okay, so this is the overall sales update. In terms of sales, dropped by 8%. The median price rose by 14%. The homes that could be sold, get to sold really fast. A huge decrease in the days on market, and overall the sales numbers are going down just because a lot of properties couldn't get sold. So that naturally comes a question, if there's a winter storm, what should I do? I think a lot of damages can be preventable. So let's talk about some best practices we can use to winterize our homes and our vehicle. So number one is getting your vehicle winterized. If you can prepare, you can also install winter tires for your vehicle. This is a really cool, interesting practice. Having something like a warm coat, mid hat, maybe put it in a travel bag and put it in your car. I think having those handy, it can be very useful no matter what happens. And in this case, if you have it somewhere, especially having water resistant boots, I realize how important it is. Our neighbor's water pipe bursted, and when I tried to walk outside to help them shut off the water, my shoes got all wet, and I was like, oh man, I never thought I would need a water resistant boots living here in Texas, but here we are. Protect your pipes. I think that has been the biggest damage throughout the country is bursted water pipes. So keep your water dripping. With a swimming pool, you want to. I have seen folks that keep their pool heated, throughout the storm, to prevent damages to the pool. A couple more practices on the next slide. Adding insulation to the attic. Consider relocating your exposed pipe. Keeping your garage door closed, of course. And also finding a way to potentially keeping the garage warm as well, because there are pipes on the walls of the garage. Keeping the faucets dripping, making sure your home heating sources are installed. The heat's working. We had a lot of cases where the power got shut off and there's no heat, and that created water pipe burst, and that's a very, very unfortunate thing to have happen to anybody. Staying indoors, having a battery powered radio or TV, that's fantastic. We used to have one. We don't have one anymore. But during emergency situations, as we have encountered, that's a really good thing to do. Another thing I also want to recommend is to save some water inside the house, so that no matter what happens, you have some use to water. Okay, what to do after the storm? Stay in touch with the local news. I think there's a lot of information that you can get that can help you locally. Watch out for frozen ice. It gets very slippery when the storm is over. And the next thing, clear your sidewalk, clear your driveway. This is something that we didn't do. And the snow started getting frozen over, and it created a lot of falling, I guess a lot of danger for falling. Check on buildup of ice on your roof. I think that's a big one, because if ice is actually building up, it can potentially refreeze over the night and cause damages up the gutter. So watch out for that. And also contact your insurance broker to discuss all the damages. I think everybody who have had damages from the storm have done that already. So that's what we have. I'm going to pass the mic back to Jeff.
Yes, thank you so much, Steve. So Right now, for our panelists, Steve, Becky, Jason, and Juan, they will be giving us their insights about some of the questions that we have thought about. They are also investors. Our panelists are real estate investors, and they all have experienced this winter storm last month. So I can definitely guarantee you guys that, their tips, their insights, their ideas about what to prepare or our questions later on, they will definitely give you the best answers since, they've experienced it. They own properties as well, so we can learn from them. So for those of you who are in Facebook, again, everyone, I have posted the link to join us in our Zoom call right now. So if ever you are interested to join our Zoom room, please click the link. And also, if ever you have questions, you can definitely post them in Facebook in the comment box, or you can join us. You can join us in our live Zoom call so you can ask your questions live to our panelists. So first question goes to everyone. So anyone interested to answer the question, as a real estate investor, what do you think is the biggest effect of this winter storm to the real estate business?
I'll fill that one a little bit. Um, I'm thinking as an investor that I really need to be careful in the houses that I'm going to look at and purchase, because I don't know the damage to the pipes. And I don't know, a lot of times the water has been shut off in houses that you invest in. And so to be very thorough in your inspection, I think is very important at this time, because you could buy something and then have that water flipped on, and you could do twice as much damage to the home just by turning the water on to the house. And sometimes you're there to have the water turned on, and sometimes you're not. So it could get really messy and really expensive fast if you're not being very careful with having the inspection done on the pipes prior to your purchase.
Yeah, in addition to that, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, and I experienced this. We were sharing before we actually came on live. Had some family members who had several pipes burst in their houses, and I was there helping them, and they saw the carpet. We ended up ripping up carpet, and they said, "Oh, well, it's just a carpet." I was like, "No." So I cut about 6 inches in the areas that was most wet of the sheetrock, and all of a sudden they could see all the moisture that was back there. And so a lot of times you get these houses, and like Kevin was saying, even if there wasn't, even if they got the water fixed, or it was a small leak, you never can tell. That's how black mold gets started. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you do a thorough inspection. Things that you may not have thought about previously. This winter storm, if nothing else, it definitely gave us a perspective on being a little bit more prepared. It also gave people in general, especially if you have rental houses right now, rental properties, you need to have made sure, hey, you can tell what kind of tenants you have based on the precautions they took or didn't. So you want to make sure that if you do have rental properties, you want to make sure you're covering your bases and making sure that everybody there knows, hey, here are the precautions. Maybe it's one of those things that you create a list of things to do. Kind of, being a teacher, we had a list of things to do in an emergency right at the door, and you grab the folder and you look, make sure. So same kind of thing, it's like you give that to your tenants so that they know, hey, here are the things that I need to do. Here are the people I need to call. Here's what the steps that I need to take. So it's just something to think about.
So I think one thing that kind of it made me think about was being more prepared for the situation, kind of like the checklist, and utilizing technology like your phone to record video of how to get to the water main or the water shut off from the front door. And you can kind of create these walkthroughs that aren't documents and more visual based. And normally we don't think about stuff like that, but And then also ensuring renter insurance is in place, because who has to cover it if they don't have it? I mean, it turns into a battle. So kind of like two little things I kind of heard horror stories on floating around on the internet.
Yes, thanks so much, everyone. And for our next question, let me just, oh, it's not clicking my screen. So there, so for our next question, for everyone again, have you done any preparations for this type of weather conditions specifically for your investments?
This is like a 30-year storm, right? A 30-year winter storm. That's what I
I
heard.
think the last storm that I experienced in Texas like this was 1983.
Wow.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, in 83. It wasn't quite this long, but it was. Yeah, it was. That's the last time I remember it having that. So
Because we get freezes 1 to 2 nights a lot
Yeah.
of the times, but we never get that stretch with the snow and ice rain of 7 days like we got this time around. And so yeah, it was something that, you know, everything, the infrastructure in Texas is not set up for that.
Right.
You know, I grew up in Colorado. My brother and sister both live up north in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Those homes up there are built to withstand the cold like that. The
Right.
pipes are buried deeper in the ground. The insulation is thicker in the walls, and so they've prepared. Even the piping, the plumbing and the piping is completely different than what we have out here. And our PVC pipes and our CPVC pipes, they're not built to withstand that kind of cold weather. And so I think it is a huge investment. I think in the future, we are going to find that maybe the state of Texas, and this is just speculation, but maybe that the state of Texas is going to mandate certain specifications on what kind of materials are used in houses. Our garage completely flooded because there's no insulation over the top of the garage. And so our house was fine and everything was protected within, which I'm very thankful for. But the garage ceiling just completely collapsed because there was no insulation over the garage. And so that may be some of the things that might get put into place in the future. It may cost an investor a few more dollars to upgrade, you know, rental homes or investment homes to meet specifications, especially if you're holding a rental house. You would want to make those changes for the future, especially if our environment is causing the change for this inclement weather.
Well, and you know, and to you know, I really appreciate what you just said, Kevin, and I agree. One of the dilemmas, and I think humans in general, we have a very short memory. You know, we all felt the pain for those after about. It's like getting a ticket. You know, after you get a ticket and you take defensive driving, you're like the best driver for about 6 weeks. And after that, you're speeding, weaving in and out of traffic, no signals, nothing. Oh, that's a yellow light. I'm going to run right through it just to save myself 2 seconds. And I think, you know, and I think that's the case. It's like, you know, since this only happens every about 40 years, I think I'm okay. And I think that's where people who you know who think about those things and prepare a little bit better don't have that issue when this does happen, right? And all of a sudden it pays off. And so I think that's kind of where, you know, do you want to worry about it when it does happen, or do you want to, you know, play it cool and do the things that you need to do at you know, when it's time. So yeah, I think making a little more expenditure goes a long way.
I think so. And I think also thinking about what you're putting in to your rental properties or investment properties as far as appliances. I'm very thankful that we had a gas stove during this time so that we could boil water when our water was out. We got hit hard with water. We were without it for 7 days. And so in order to keep our tubs full and stuff, we needed that extra little bit of trickle of water coming in. If our main house line was shut off, we still got a trickle of water into our tubs and was able to save that for flushing water, flushing toilets, and to boil water. And then we had some stock of some bottled water for drinking, which was important, and a gas fireplace, a wood burning fireplace. And so that kind of kept us from having to leave our home. It's exactly what it did. The water shut off. It kept us from having to go spend extra money to live in a hotel for a week while it was being fixed.
Yeah, we were without power for about a day and a half, and had it not been for our gas stove, that's kind of what kept the downstairs a little warmer. And so because if not, we would have 38 degrees in the house would have been. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's one of those things that, again, those are things that we think about, and we got to remember to keep that in the forefront of our mind as well. So.
Yes, thanks so much, everyone. So for our last question for this session, so what are the services that investors should look for after a winter storm? Because there are probably, if ever some of our co-investors haven't prepared for it, or like our first timers, newbies, this is the first time that they have experienced it. What do you think are the services that they should look for, specifically with repairs or any services that they that might help their real estate investments?
I know that the biggest service that everybody needed was a plumber, first and foremost, to fix those pipes and get the water back on. And so I think as an investor, it's great if you've got that relationship with those contractors, such as plumbers, that they'll come to you first. Because I heard stories of plumbers saying they couldn't come for weeks. I think it ended up getting a little bit better than that, but that was the hardest thing at first, was the plumbers and plumbing supplies, because all of the hardware stores, everybody ran out of the plumbing supplies as well.
I just recently got solar panels put on my house, and I didn't quite understand how it all worked. I assumed, hey, we have solar panels, so I should at least have some power. But they don't produce power like that. It's a little odd. But one of the things that I think is going to start to see is the how those cells that are installed in your home, that when when there is power outage, that those cells take over. So if they're connected to your solar panels, they it's kind of like a big battery pack. They get charged up, and it's constantly using the power. But as the power does go out, your house doesn't lose power, which I think is a good investment. But the other is, I think in rental properties is, at least for me, one of the things I thought about is like, what, I'm going to, there are solar powered generators that can, it's not going to power the entire house, but it'll keep a room warm for the night. It'll turn the lights on, keep the refrigerator running, those kinds of things. And so I'm going to be ordering a few of those things and putting them in my, for those rental properties, and say, hey, power ever goes out, this is what we can do. I didn't have the need for my refrigerator to work, and people were like, oh, running the generators and putting the refrigerator. I just put everything in a big old cooler and stuck it outside. Nothing was going to go bad. It was going to keep it cold outside that week. So.
You're muted.
You're muted, Kevin.
Yes, and keep in mind, sorry about that. And keep in mind too that this doesn't happen very often in Texas. And if you're listening outside of the state right now, you may think, well, this is a lot to talk about, solar panels and all this stuff to do when you only lose power maybe, once every 20 years or 40 years or so, whatever. But it's not the case because we have hurricanes and other inclement weather to deal with. And so it's something where a lot of people are looking toward solar and other powers, other generators that will power their houses.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. So yeah, definitely those are great insights. And just to share with you, if I'm not mistaken, that was last December or November, if I'm not mistaken, that we have a webinar with Diego Melo about winterizing your home. So I've learned so much about it. So personally, it's like, okay, it's December. People should prepare. Winter's coming. Just like what Jon Snow has said in Game of Thrones. So yeah, winter's coming. That last December, but I really didn't expect that this will happen. Last February. I've heard the news. I've stuck my nose to the news, specifically in the U.S. So I was like, it's really surprising. So it caught my attention to, this would be a very great topic, specifically with our hot trends, because, we don't know what will happen next. Just like what Kevin said, we cannot, we're not just talking about the winter storm. There are, natural calamities that may happen in the future, and hopefully not, because we're still in the pandemic. But if in any case, as real estate investors, we should protect our businesses. We should protect our investments. So this is really a great topic for you to watch out, guys. But in any case that you have questions, please let us know. You can reach out to our Facebook pages so you can ask your questions, and we can get our experts to answer them, because they're investors as well. They can even share their own insights, their own preparations, their own tips and tricks that can protect your investments. So let me just share my slide again. There. So who are we? We are Real Estate IQ is a technology and data company focused on creating work from home automated systems for the real estate investment community. And our vision, success in life, is all about positioning. Stay on top of market trends so we can position ourselves to take full advantage, nurture online networking, and build strong relationships. And our mission, to empower investors' journey to freedom and success. And our core values, integrity, home growth-oriented, champion mindset, and of course, fun. Because, whatever we do in life, we should always have fun because it helps ourselves to be motivated. It helps us to keep on going to reach our goals. So our work from home automated systems have Deal Analysis Suite, which offers you unlimited comms. We have Deal Finding Suite, which can offer you more than 45,000 motivated seller leads. We also have the premium services, which includes keep tracing emails, phone numbers, addresses, etc. So we also have CRM to automate your investing business. So last year, our statistics, we have reached almost 400 webinars, and we had total of almost 20,000 RSVPs. We have currently 12,000 active members and 60,000 community members. And speaking of our community, we invite you to join our community page as well. So just go to realestateiq.co so you can reach out to our marketplace if ever you need some funding, you need some partners. And also our community, you can join that for free because we are looking forward to create a Facebook-like community in our page wherein you can interact, connect with other investors, especially if you're you're just new to the business. This can really help you because you can post your questions there, and our members will definitely help you and answer your questions and even give you tips, based on their personal experiences. So we have our front and back end development team. We have the data aggregation team, technology team, and of course us, marketing team, and a lot of team members of Real Estate IQ handling your events and your services with Real Estate IQ. So again, just like what I told you, join our community. Feel free to join it because it's totally free. No monthly charges, no anything, just free membership so you can be updated, and everyone can help you. And we are looking forward to build a very, very helpful community wherein each and every investors are helping each other more than just us helping you answer questions. But yeah, our we're looking forward to other members to answer your questions, especially if you are new to the business. And again, follow us on our social media pages in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And for those of you who are watching in Facebook, feel free to share our stream today, our video today, so that everyone can learn, everyone can prepare. And I learned a lot from our panelists today about preparation for winterizing your home. But yeah, feel free to share it. So we have to help each other to learn a lot from our experiences, specifically with natural calamities, how we can protect our investment, how we can protect our business. So definitely you are helping others if you will be sharing our video today in Facebook and our social media pages. So if ever you're interested to join our passive investment program and stay on top of the passive investment opportunities in the real estate IQ community, the link is on your screen right now. Feel free to copy that, write that on your notes, or you can copy that to your computers so you can have more information on how you can invest with us. So let me just give the floor now to Jason. So if ever you haven't known Jason yet, Jason is a business development in the business development for Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And he's also the owner of Mad Logic. He has more than 10 years of experience as software engineer and Scrum Master. And he's also a real estate investor. So, Jason? Oh, Jason, you're muted.
Got it. Sorry about that. Yeah, so glad to be on again. So today I thought I would share the available inventory numbers for our kind of our market areas. So overall, the trend has continued to shrink in available inventory. There's a couple metros that we'll see that are adding a little bit of inventory, and although it's not much. So why do we cover this number? It gives a good barometer of kind of how much inventory is available. So if your sales are a high percentage of what you have available, you start having bidding wars and prices start going up, and it's really hard to for investors to get property. So generally the metric, if you have less than 3 months of inventory, then prices really start to go up. So and we've been in that situation since November, October of last year. So first, looking at Texas, you'll see the trend has continued to go down. We are right at that 2.5, 3 month inventory. And as far as the percentages go, I'll go through that in this slide. So Dallas and Fort Worth is down about 27%. And this is over the last 12 months. So Houston is down about 26%. San Antonio is down 27%. Austin is down about 32%. And with Texas as a whole, it is down 27%. So next metro area is Florida. So Florida has actually had a lot more inventory reduction over the course of last year. These numbers are from the end of January last year to the current date. So all metros there have also followed the trend of shrinking inventory. So Tampa is down about 35%, Orlando 20%, Jacksonville 36%, Northport, Sarasota down 32%. Fort Myers, Florida is down 44%, and Daytona Beach is 30%. And overall, Florida is down 33.4%. For Utah's actually one of the few that has saw uptick in inventory availability. When it's not enough to really make a huge impact, but it is still a kind of a sign to return into a little bit more normalcy if we ever have that. So all the metro areas, Salt Lake City is down 36% over the course of the last 12 months. Ogden, Utah is down 39%, and Provo is down 50%.
That's some crazy numbers.
Right.
Crazy number.
So Illinois, there's only one metro area kind of available that tracks this information, and that's Chicago. So they're down 27%. And let's see, I think Georgia's the last metro area. There's two, Augusta and Atlanta. Both are tracking very similarly. The graph is hard to show because the quantities are very different. So Atlanta, Georgia is actually down 33%. Augusta is down 38%, and Georgia as a whole is down 34%. So that's all the slides I have to share. There was one extra tidbit I kind of wanted to share and give everyone early warning about. So for the people utilizing technology-based marketing, Google Chrome, and it will probably be followed by other competitors, is really changing up how they're handling cookies. I still haven't learned all the nuances to it, but the cookies play a big part in Google advertising and Facebook marketing and things like that about tracking information about you. And this is kind of all going away or changing radically. So it'll be an opportunity to kind of learn about it early and then create strategies that may get you an advantage where you could be lagging behind right now. So I think that right now the date is the end of this year. That change will happen. I'll probably put together a webinar once I learn more on the specifics because it affects a lot of my software that I do. So yeah, anyway, so next Tuesday, also I'll be hosting the Texas technology and data trends. I'll go more in depth on the numbers for Texas. And then the topic for the webinar is social media management and the technology that kind of helps supports that. So back to you, Jeff.
Thank you so much, Jason. And so right now, let me just share again my screen. So let me just click on that. So next up, so if ever you haven't, known our panelists today, or if this is your first time meeting them, so our next speaker will be Becky. So she's the Director of Growth for Houston Operations. She has more than 20 years of experience in education. And as you might know, Becky's a former teacher. So she's also a real estate investor. So again, everyone feel free to reach us out through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn if ever you have questions, because our team definitely are investors as well. So they can definitely help you and give you some tips and tricks on our investments. And also we have Kevin. So Kevin is Real Estate IQ's market leader for Houston Operations, and also have years of experience in buy and hold, wholesaling, flipping, and subject to. So he's also a real estate investor with Becky. So let me just share the video for you that they have prepared, because again, everyone, I've been watching their videos ever since they started last December, if I'm not mistaken. So this is really fun and educational because I have seen that, and again, I love Kevin's headband, and I hope that I can see it again, because I haven't watched this, to be honest. I haven't watched this video just for me to, have the feeling of excitement watching this. So let me play the video for you now, everyone.
Hi, this is Becky.
Hey, Becky, it's Dave.
Hi, Dave. How's it going?
Well, pretty good, Becky. I think I found a deal.
Great. Tell me about it.
Oh man, I was out jogging yesterday, and I ran by this house, and it was kind of distressed, and the guy was working outside, so I stopped and we talked for a little bit, and he noticed my real estate IQ headband, and so he said, "Hey, you work in real estate?" And I said, "Well, not really, but I'm an investor." And I said, "Have you ever thought about selling your house?" And he said, "Yeah, I actually have." He goes, "How much are you going to give me for it?" And I laughed and I said, "Well, I played a psychological game with him." And I said, "How much do you think it's worth?"
Good answer.
Yeah, thanks. And so we got to talking, and he said, "Well, right around $100,000 or so." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, let me get your name and phone number, and I'll give you a call back when I finish my job." And he said, "Okay." So I got his name and his phone number, but I didn't know what else to do.
Well, that's great. Why don't you come on over and we'll look at the comps for the property and see how much you can offer him.
Okay, I'll be right over, Becky.
All right. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Hey, Becky.
Hi, Dave. That was fast.
Wow, yeah, I was in a hurry. I ran right over.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Well, I've got my computer out of here and I pulled up Real Estate IQ.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So this is our page where we run comps. So all we have to do is type in the address and we can figure out what that property is going to be worth.
Right. Fast CMA. Now, Fast CMA, that means CMA means comparative market analysis.
That's correct.
I was reading a little bit about that, and that's how you find comps.
Yep.
Comps on homes, and that means that you can look at what some of the other properties around the subject house or the house that you're looking at, and find what they sold for. And that determines the worth of the house that you're trying to buy.
That's exactly it.
Okay, great.
So
great.
Let's start here. What's the address for this house?
Oh, the address. I put it in my phone here. Hang on just a second. It was 4305 Gunter Street. Gunter.
Okay, got it.
Oh, hey.
Here it's coming up right there. Click look up.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here, please select. There it is. It looks like it's been on the market.
That was quick.
Yeah. So it's just a regular house, right? Not a townhouse.
Just a regular house.
Single family. It was built in 1938 and it's 704 square feet. That's a tiny old house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
look old. It looks old.
All right. Well, I'm going to look at the ARV subdivision. We'll start there. So I click find comparables, and there are 4 sold, 3 active, 3 non-active, and 11 leased in that area that are similar in size and age of that one. So here we go.
Oh, wow.
According to Real Estate IQ, this could be worth about $151,000 once it's fixed up.
Oh, cool. Go to the map. Shows where I kind of jog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There's it. There's the property. The comps are kind of in weird places.
I go right by Wheatley High School when I'm jogging.
Yeah. So we're going to use these comps because not very many showed up. But we'd have to be careful since they are on the other side of this freeway right here. But there's not a lot of other ones, so we'll start with that.
Okay.
So let's see what the neighborhood looks like, shall we? Drop a little Google guy.
Sure.
I guess you know what the neighborhood looks like if you were jogging there.
Very familiar with it. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
So
it's very familiar.
Drive down the street that way. I think I missed the street. Is it down this way?
I think so. Well, now I'm all turned around. Coke Street.
Cut a little bit of this. That's not the right street.
Yeah, we need to cut this. Just stop. Don't Google guy.
Okay.
Do you want to just...
I was recording.
Wow, let's look at the map.
Okay.
You can see all the places that I've been jogging.
Yeah, great. So I clicked here, and there's the house that you gave me the address for.
Okay.
So where do you jog? Along this bayou?
Yeah, down in there. And I go past Wheatley High School. And have you ever been to Finnegan Park?
I haven't.
Oh,
no.
it's a beautiful park.
All right. So here's our subject property. Here are the comps that the computer found. Now, they're not super close, but they're okay. But these two are kind of on the other side of this freeway. So we'd want to take a closer look as to whether these neighborhoods were kind of the same. If they are the same, it won't matter. These are within a mile, and that's how far an appraiser is going to look anyway.
Okay.
So if we wanted, we could take this little Google guy and drop him and check out the neighborhood. But I think you already know what the neighborhood's like.
Yes, I jog there all the time.
Okay. So down here is your house.
Okay.
And here are the comps. And the computer said these three are probably good comps and this one's not. And looking at the price per square foot, I would agree. This one sold for $233 a square foot, $220, $193 a square foot, and this one only $103.
It seems like when I
So-
jog down in that area, some houses have been redone and look really nice, and some houses kind of look like the one that is on
At this one, look,
Gunter Street.
let's look at the pictures of that one. There's a few pictures here.
Yep, there it
Is
is.
that what it looks like? That's a lot
Yeah.
of junk.
He's a funny old codger.
I bet he is.
Yeah.
There's the side with the driveway. There's the back side. There's one picture of the kitchen. Looks like it could use a little rehabbing. And there's the living room area.
There's some cracks maybe in the ceiling a little bit
Yeah,
too.
there could be.
Probably needs a new roof.
Probably needs a full rehab if it's that old. You'd want to find out if the electrical had been redone, if any of the plumbing had been redone. That bathroom's not looking so great. You'd probably want to take all these tiles off and start over. And there's some flooring in the bedroom. Looks like it could be tile or it could be those vinyl tiles. I don't know. So I'd probably plan on replacing it either way.
It looks like it needs a lot of work. Good thing we talked about contractors and got that squared away, because I feel like I could be ready to go, and they can do things a lot faster than what I could do personally.
That's right. And here's one of the comps so we can see how they fix that up in
Wow.
the investor agreeable gray. But it looks pretty. So you'd want to fix this house up like it to make sure that you were getting the same costs, the same good price for it. Let's see how this one is.
It looks pretty nice too.
Yep, it sure does. And then here's the other one that went for a much lower price. It doesn't look too bad really, but definitely has not been updated like the other three had.
And so what you want to do is you want to look at the ones that are most recently updated to get a higher ARV.
Yes.
Is that what we're looking for? And the ARV is the most important number of the deal. Is that correct?
That is. And the other important numbers are right here is the days on the market. This one sold 151 days ago, and it was only on the market for 12 days. This one sold 88 days ago. It was on the market for 206 days. So you'd probably want to do a little more research into the neighborhood and see if those are the same. But if we assume they are, we also want to match these things. Your house is 704 square feet. This one's 648, 840, 777. They're all pretty small because that's what you want for the comps. You want other smaller houses.
But the smaller houses sold faster than the bigger house did.
It did. Okay, so let's talk about your offer. Once we're pretty confident that we like these comps that the computer picked, we can scroll back up here, and the sold price is still $151,000 about. So let's talk about making your offer. All right, I'm going to pull up my calculator here. have you heard of the 70% rule?
Yeah, but explain it to me.
Okay. The 70% rule says you want to pay no more than 70% of the ARV on this house minus the cost of repairs.
Okay.
So if this is 151,668, let's just round it to 152. That's close enough. 70% of that. So
Times
I'm going
0.7.
Yep.
Okay.
That's 106,000.
Okay, so it's worth a little bit more than what, or I mean, kind of what he said, $100,000 or so.
Yeah, that's pretty close. But he didn't take into account those repairs.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty small house, but it needs a lot of major work. So you'd probably want to go back to the guy with your contractor and go in and see the house and get a really good bid on it. But let's just assume that the repairs can all be done for 40,000.
Okay.
So I'm going to subtract 40,000 from that number. And that's how much you want to pay for that property.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a lot lower, but you're going to have to explain to him that you're also going to have to take out closing costs.
Okay.
Holding
We talked about those. Yeah.
The holding costs, like keeping the water on and paying for insurance, paying the interest on your loan and all those things. And you're going to have to pay a realtor when they sell it if you flip it. So you can explain it to him and make those numbers make sense to him.
Plus the condition of the home too. Maybe I think that's a good idea where I could ask him if I could get my contractor and do a walkthrough. And then we'd have a better idea of what those repairs are going to be and if it's a good deal or not. If I can get them down to 66.5 or 4, would that be a pretty good deal, you think?
That would be a pretty good deal. We can run the numbers here with this investment summary. So here's what it's worth. And we said you're going to get it for 66,400, but there were 40,000 in repairs in there, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd be all in for 106,000. So that means that'd be that 30% discount. So you're hitting that 70% rule. And that means you've got 45,000 to pay your closing costs, your holding costs, and the rest of that would be profit. So you could make 20 to 25,000 flipping this house. Does that sound good?
All right. Yeah, that sounds really good, Becky. Yeah.
All right.
Good. I think thank you so much. And is there a way that you could like email me this so I can look at it?
I can go right here, report and share. And here's a report that has all of the MLS information. It has the comps on it that we talked about, and the least comps and the pictures of it. So I can send that to you in an email right here, and you'll have it when you get home.
Okay, remember it's dave@gmail.com.
.ca?
Yeah.
All right. I'll send that to you and you'll get it soon.
All right. Well, thanks, Becky. And like, can I do this in my home?
You can if you have Real Estate IQ.
Really? I thought I had to go to a realtor to get this information.
Without a software like Real Estate IQ, you would have to go to a realtor because information is not public knowledge in Texas.
Cool. Well, I'm going to have to look at this up on my own computer, see if I can get the same results that you got here. I really appreciate your time, Becky, but I got to go because I got a deal to make. Woo!
All right, thanks, Becky. Thanks, Kevin. So, as expected, this is like
these are really great.
Yeah, this is like a monthly television show that I keep on waiting for. So yeah, it's really fun. I didn't expect to see that headband again because I thought it was just a phone call. So thank you so much, Kevin and Becky. So right now, again, everyone, for those of you who are watching on Facebook or probably will watch on Facebook. So if ever you have questions, feel free to reach out to our Facebook pages. You can even reach out to our Instagram pages, LinkedIn, if you have questions or if there's anything that Real Estate IQ can help you. And also we have the customer service posted, hotlines posted in our pages. So feel free to reach us out if ever you have questions. So right now, for any final thoughts, everyone, or any final tips that you can give our attendees or our future viewers about our topic for today?
Well, we're going to be speaking at the Ala Moria at 7 o'clock. So for those who want to follow us and learn more about off-market leads and setting up a marketing engine to keep getting deals, make sure you join us.
And check out our March promotion on our website.
So, yeah, in 2 weeks at the event in DFW, we'll be there in person, and it's for real estate investors. So find our table and come visit.
Dave will be there.
And we'll be at the Think Realty conference in Houston on the 26th and 27th. So love to see you there as well.
We're going to be everywhere. So look forward to meeting everybody.
Yeah, how about you, Juan? Anything that we can watch out for?
Not off the top of my head. I know we have several things. At least I got several things that I want to think about it and talk to Steve and Becky and folks about for a different show. But I think I'm gonna hold off before I want to have a little more development on it.
All right. So again, everyone, thank you so much for your time. And again, feel free to reach us out through Facebook, through social media. You know how networking works right now, through social media, through online. So feel free to reach out to us and let us know anything that we can help you with. And also everyone, for our panelists today, thank you so much for your great insights, for this very informative real estate investing hot trends for today. Again, everyone, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, stay safe, and keep on investing. Have a great day, everyone.